Looks like we are live here. Maybe. What's everybody doing? Anybody that's coming in the chat. Let's see if anybody's coming in here. This is my first live stream, so testing things out and seeing if this is going to work. How's everybody doing Saturday afternoon? Just kind of chilling here and seeing if anybody's going to pop in the chat here. So let's see. Pop that out. See if we can get this lined up. And see if anybody pops in here. Just testing out my equipment, making sure everything goes correct. And it looks like I'm live. Not a master of this, so we're getting everything set up. It's my hope to do some live streams in the future. I got some plans on some maybe some video watching, some concurrent video watching, so I want to do that. I know there's quite a few streams going. I know 1-2 Comics has a live artist thing going right now that's pretty good, so I'm sure people are over there watching that. And this is mainly just so that I can test my stuff and know that it's possible to do some live streaming. So if anybody wants to come in the chat here, let me know if everything's looking okay. Jambo Comics. Hey, how's it going today, Jambo? Thanks for coming in. Just kind of testing things out, really. Although I got a couple boxes here, I might do get a few more people in here. Might open a couple things I got in, but just testing my streaming setup, making sure it works, making sure the audio and video looks okay. You might want to comment on that. Let me know. Hope to do some live streams. I figured Saturday would be a good day to go ahead and do this, since there's not too many people watching. In case I make a total ass out of myself. So that's good. Hopefully people can hear me. So this is the first time I'm streaming live on my channel, and I hope to do some different live streams, maybe some live chats, do some Star Trek stuff, some non-Star Trek stuff. I'm hoping to do some. I want to get together maybe like a horror movie watching thing where we get some people in here and we can go to Amazon Prime and sync up a movie and maybe for like an hour and a half classic 80s, 90s horror movie and do some critiquing and watching with that. So we'll see how that goes. What are you up to today, Jambo, on a Saturday? It's nice weather here, although it's about 16 degrees. Mastodon, how you doing? Welcome. This is my first live stream, so I'm just kind of testing things out. Well, that's good. Just want to make sure the equipment looks good and streaming. This is all kind of foreign, alien to me. I've mostly been making recorded content, so that's good that it's working. Got a couple things I got in boxes over here. Maybe we'll do that in a few minutes. I don't think I'll be streaming in here too long today. Just want to make sure things are up and running. But anything you want to shout out to me, Star Trek related, comic related, we can talk about anything you want. I'm plowing my way through the books of the week. I've read a few of them. What have I read? Let's see. What have I read? I've read Undone by Blood. Thought that was probably the best of the week, although it was it was all set up, I thought. A lot of things were... yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Biggest thing is probably with the chat. I'm sure there's a little bit of a lag here between the chat windows and so much. So, but what I've been reading this week, Undone by Blood, Independent from Aftershock. That was good. I like the artwork. I like the story. Kind of set up. So it's one of these things that I'm going to have to see how issue 2 is. Issue 1 was good, but then we saw like in that title 20XX, if anybody's read that, I thought the first book of that was phenomenal, and the second book was garbage, and I stopped it. Didn't even bother reading the third book. And that's the thing about comics. I mean, I think the second book is more important than the first, because it seems like everybody has great ideas for comics, and the first one generally usually is pretty good. But then after that, they kind of go south. One book was like Undiscovered Country by Scott Snyder. I thought the first one was phenomenal. The second one was a little weaker. And then the third one kind of picked back up. Oh, absolutely fantastic on the Golden Key. I have a few of those. I collected the anthology books that IDW put out. And I've been slowly trying to pick up some of the IDWs. It's tough because a lot of them, I think anything from 20 to 50 or 60 is fairly, reasonable in price. But when you start going 1 to 20, if you want them in anything like decent condition, they're expensive. You might want to say how many of those books you got. I love the Gold Keys. Absolutely love them. They're not... a lot of them are not even close to what the show is, but the artwork is phenomenal. It's so pulpy and science fiction-y in that 60s vibe. And they got better as they went on when the artists and the people who were writing them, got to see the show. You got to remember the first, 10 or 12 issues of that comic, Gold Key comic. They had an outline. They had a piece of paper that said, these are the characters, and this is the ship, and go ahead and write something. They didn't even know what, they didn't even see the show. In fact, what was it? The first couple of issues of that comic, Captain Kirk was Captain Kurt. So they didn't have the name right to begin with, but I love the Gold Keys. And I love the DC run. The DC run and the Gold Keys are probably my two favorites. And then IDW stuff now, but it's tough to really judge IDWs against the 70s and 80s stuff. Yeah, I agree. The hook, the second should reel them in, and the third should net them for the long haul. Well, but is there even long hauls today in the world of indies? Most of the books are 5 to 8 runs. I think we got, in the case of something like, what was it? I'm trying to think of a book that really got extended. I know there's a couple books recently that just got extended where I think they were going to go to 6 issues, and then they were popular and they extended them. But most of them are, 6-issue runs now? So, I mean, if you don't hook them in the first 2 issues, if it's a 6-issue run, forget it. A DC book that I thought did that phenomenally was Basket Full of Heads from Joe Hill. I read that, the first 4 of them in one sitting, and they were all great. So it's tough to get a book that's going to maintain. Gold Key collected those in annuals too. I think there was about 6. Well, they weren't annuals. They were gold. Are you talking about the IDW collections? And there's also the Eagle Moss stuff. The Eagle Moss. I'm currently collecting the Eagle Moss books. I think I have about 10 or 15 of them, and each one collects a Gold Key comic at the end. And I kind of wish that Eagle Moss had come out with its own book with all the Gold Key stuff in it, instead of putting one story in the back of each chapter. I'd rather have them in a collected volume. They were also collected in trade paperbacks called the Enterprise Logs, which I have a few of those. But yeah, I mean it's tough for independents to really to go beyond 6 and 7 issues. So don't have a lot of those. So what else did I read this week? I read let's see. Some of the stuff. I get most of my books right now. I'll tell you, my pulls come from online. I don't really have a great. I don't have a great LCS, so I have to buy a lot of my books online. And to save on shipping, I get a monthly. Which kind of stinks because then I'm kind of below the curve. But it's nice because then you can kind of read the stories. Sometimes I let them sit and I get like 4 or 5 issues. I try to read them. Like I'm glad I read the Bag of Heads 4 issues in, because I wouldn't want to wait for that every month. Hey Mastodon, thank you for coming in, and check me out if I do other live streams. I have some stuff in mind, so hey, no problem. But I read, let's see and most of the stuff I'll wait for the books to come in monthly. But if there's something I really want to read, I'll get it digitally, and then read it. Like I did that with, I did that with, and some stuff I get digitally only, like that Frankenstein Unbound book. I bought that digitally. I grabbed Thor 3 because I wanted to read that, and my copy won't be in for a few weeks. And I read Batman, Superman, Batman the Outsiders. But that's about it so far. And I bought Alienated, but I haven't read that yet. So I'm hoping to read that sometime this week. The Gold Key stuff, as I said, it gets tough to find, but I love the Gold Key Star Trek run. I have about maybe 10 or 15 of them, so that's pretty good. But so I hope to do in this channel in the future. I'm thinking about, I don't know if anybody would be into this, but I'm thinking about doing maybe a weekly Star Trek episode watch, where we would grab an episode that we want to go ahead and watch as a community off of like Amazon Prime, because most people have that. And then we can sync up the episodes together and go ahead and watch them, comment on them, and review them. So think about doing that. Maybe think about doing that for horror movies too. So, that's something I'm going to play around with in the future. See who else is in here maybe. As I said, I don't know how long I'm going to go, because I was mainly just doing this as a test to see if anybody would break in here. And let's get the chat back up there again. Where's my chat? Oh, there it is. All right, well, I do have a couple boxes here. I don't know if anybody wants to see me unbox live. Let's see what this one is. This is a box from eBay, it looks like. Pretty good shape. So let's go ahead and open this baby up. This is boxed pretty well for eBay. I know I've gotten stuck with a lot of eBay stuff. So let's see what we got here. Packaged very nice. Gemini mailers. Keep that for recycling. Believe me, I've gotten some rough books off the internet. This one's packaged nice. They used, it looks like they used plastic comic dividers or something to separate them. So fantastic. No, they're just bag and boarded, but bubble wrap, so that's good. Let's see what I got. He did. It looks like he taped them. I guess they taped. Yeah, they're in another bag. So yeah, he did an excellent job in putting these together. Oh, yeah, that's right. Speaking of bag full of heads, he did put a back and board in there. I got, when I read this, I loved it. I got Basket Full of Heads #1. Those are getting tough to find. I want to get the rest of the series too. And I saw this one, he was offering both, and that's the #1 variant, I believe. Yeah. I love that cover. That's a fantastic cover. With the axe. So I want to get these now. Hopefully I can find the rest of the series online, in my LCS or something. But I love this book. Both of them are fantastic. Basket Full of Heads. If you're not reading that, I would recommend it. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Another box, one more. This one is from Midtown Comics. Midtown Comics. And I don't buy things from Midtown. Well, I do buy individual books from Midtown. I do all my... I was getting my books from Things from Another World. Hey, aggressively relaxing. Thanks for coming in. This is just more or less of a test. My first live stream, and just kind of chilling on a Saturday. And I had a couple of things to open. If you didn't come in and see a few minutes ago, I just got my issue 1s of Basket Full of Heads. The A cover and the variant cover, which I love. Love that variant. And now we're opening a box from Midtown. As I said, I mostly get my books from... I was getting them from Things from Another World. If you guys haven't shopped on Things from Another World, they put monthly books out for cheap after they've been out for a few months. I mean, you can get $4 books for $1. The problem is the shipping, depending on where you live, is a little pricey, so it can sometimes negate the amount you're saving unless you're buying a lot of books. And I was getting my monthly pulls from there, so what I did is I'm weaning off those, and in March I'm transitioning over to a DBCS, Direct Comic Book Service, because they're close to me, so they're cheaper, and I think you get up to like 40% off for a book. So we'll see how they do. So, but Midtown Comics, when a book comes out that I didn't know I want to read, like Basket Full of Heads, and I didn't buy it, I didn't pre-order or pull it, then I'll go to Midtown, because they're usually pretty good at having books, after the fact that you can buy. And I think that's what this is. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what I got. I don't think this is Star Trek related, but not all my stuff is. And they do a nice job packing too. I mean, I can't complain. And their shipping isn't too bad. So whenever you get something from Midtown Comics, it also comes wrapped in a little brown envelope. Hey, Z Collects, how you doing today? Good to see you. Just kind of chilling. This is my first live stream, so I'm more or less just testing out the equipment, making sure it's going to work, making sure everything streams okay, and that everything looks good. I had a couple things to unbox, so I unboxed Basket Full of Heads. As I said, I love this series. When I read all 4 in a sitting, I decided I want to get it. So I got the first one in a variant. I love that cover. So I unboxed that. And now I'm unboxing what I got from Midtown. So Midtown, when you get it, they'll give you like a little coupon for money off. So what did I get from Midtown? Oh, yeah, these were fill-ins. These were fill-ins because I didn't buy them. It's weird. And the first one is Backtrack. I read this digitally and I love this story. This is the first of 2 books that came out in that week that dealt with time travel, and Backtrack was fantastic. The artwork is amazing. And the story is great. It's almost like, if you guys remember, there was a show that came on Fox a few years back called Drive, where they got all these big drivers together to go out and do a run, and with something at the end. And in this book, what it is this guy, he's a mysterious guy. He collects all these high-end drivers, and he gets them together for a race, and he offers them something. And he tells, boy, this one really smells. Smells like some of the ink that 2 days ago. He tells these guys, if you do this run for me and you're selected, you're going to get something. Like, he tells the main character that her dead boyfriend is going to come back to her if she wins this race. And what they don't know is that it's going to be a race through time. And when they race, they go through all these different eras with dinosaurs and everything, and it's fantastic. And the artwork, let's see if we can get something. It's cartoony, but it fits the book. And the story, especially for a race, everything's in motion in all these panels. From the first time they get going with the race to the end, everything is in motion. And it conveys the sense of a race. Fantastic. And there's the there's the dinosaur. So I love this book, so I wanted to jump on it. So I picked that up from Midtown. We still had a few. The other one I picked up, this may be backwards here. Let's open it up and find out. I think they put it in backwards. Yes, they did. Another book that came out at the same time. Talk about the book of Emily pissing to take a good whiff of the book. Yes. That book smelled, and even this one, whoo, these indie books have a smell to them. You can tell the low print runs. The Man Who Effed Up Time. Another book that came out from Aftershock Comics that week. This one's printed on pretty heavy cardstock. I think it's a $3.99 book. And there's the inside of it. It's a good story about this dude that kind of goes back in time, and he just changes one little thing, and then all these characters from past eras come back to life and come into this world now, and he has to. Hi Jimbo, take it easy. Thanks for coming in. he has to solve the mystery of what he did. So that's another book that I'm going to start collecting. I like that one. And the last one I got from them was this variant cover on the Batman's grave. I thought this was this week fire. I buy the regular series, the regular cover, but I didn't have this B cover. I love this B cover. I don't normally buy variants, but I picked this one up because I just love the cover. So that's it from Midtown. That's all I got from them, but it's a few books there. But yeah, what I'm hoping for the stream to do is, do some other than unboxings, doing some Star Trek related stuff. I'm going to do some probably some Trek episodes. Want to do them live, and we can all get together and comment on them. Hoping to do some horror movie live commenting. I was talking to Dylan and a few other people doing that. So that's all coming soon. Now that I know this chat, this live stream works, hopefully I'll be doing more of them. So it looks like we only have a few people in here, so I'm going to probably jump. I want to thank all you guys for coming in. You two guys coming in and help me check my equipment out, making sure everything's working, and hopefully in the future we'll get some more of these things going. So take it easy, guys. Have a good afternoon, have a good weekend, and we'll catch you later. Z, man, hope to catch you on a late chat again one night. Those were fun the other night. Hey, God Tank, how's it going? Just kind of testing the equipment, seeing if everything's working. I did some unboxings, show what I got again. Basket full of heads, variant cover number 1. Man Who Effed Up Time, number 1. Variant cover on Batman's grave. And Backtrack. Excellent book. If you're not reading it, recommend it. So just kind of chatting and hanging out on a Saturday. And making stuff works before I go ahead and go live on something that matters. Yeah, I hope we'll be doing them. As I said, I'm thinking about doing some comment relating live streams, doing some Star Trek episodes where we can get together, announce the episode, go up on Amazon Prime if you got it. Hopefully you guys, a lot of people have Amazon Prime, and watch them together and comment on them. And hopefully I'll be doing some horror movie streams like that too. Do some classic horror movies from the 60s to the 90s. But want to make sure everything was working before we went ahead and did that. So I know there's quite a few streams going right now. I know 1-2 Comics has a stream going, and I think there's a pop-up shop going. So I know there's not many people out there. But I figured Saturday would be a good time to do this in case things went south rather quickly. But it does seem like everything's working. So, all right, thank you guys for stopping in. God Tank, Ezeklex. I'll probably catch you on a live stream somewhere down the line. And have a good afternoon. We'll catch you later. Peace, everybody.